Hello everyone, welcome to a very weird video that I think is probably the first of its kind on YouTube. For you see, this is a video with a countdown. As time ticks on, this video will gradually become more and more unwatchable. But how and why is this the case? Have I simply gone mad after nearly a decade on YouTube? No, I am the Spiffing Brit, a professional exploiter and breaker of algorithms, games, and occasionally international law. As many of you brilliant subscribers will know, a regular pastime of mine is to find loopholes and potential vulnerabilities with how YouTube's algorithm is designed. Often these are lots of little short decisions or actions that YouTubers can take to give them an unfair advantage against other creators. In the past, some of my small and humble little exploits have included printing views out of thin air whilst live streaming, duplicating like counts, and of course probably my most dangerous one, destroying another creator's video performance by buying ad space for it amongst terrible demographics. Yes, that's right, I introduced PvP mechanics into the YouTube algorithm. Surprisingly, after all of this, YouTube has not sent any assassins against me, or perhaps they never got past my ferocious battle corgi. Still, here I am, once again shouting from the rooftops that my next grand experiment is ready, and here you stand ready to be a glorious set of guinea pigs. My goal for this video is to manipulate YouTube watch time over a greater level than we've ever achieved. We have done previous videos where we increase watch time and retention on shorts, or videos that you must watch at a slower speed, and this has taught us that viewer retention and average viewer statistics are quite possibly the most valuable in determining how much YouTube wants to push a video. However, my previous experiments have lacked one important statistic: length. So before we dive into this video's experiment, it's time for a quick explainer of the modern YouTube algorithm, what's changed, why it's important, and how we can break it. So make sure you're comfortable, you've grabbed a warm cup of tea, as this is where the fun begins. YouTube's entire role is to recommend the right videos to the right person. If you like watching videos about medieval cooking techniques, then YouTube will serve them up to you. You'll see them on your home feed, you'll see them underneath videos you watch, they'll automatically play in the up next section. There will simply be no escape from these medieval cooking videos once you've started going down that rabbit hole. However, YouTube will actually serve up these videos based on a few criteria. So YouTube monitors you. They want to know what language you speak, what channels you're currently watching, and what videos you interact with and for how long you're watching them. It then runs a bunch of numbers and finds a selection of videos that might be a good fit for you. But before that step, YouTube does its most important check. It must weed out videos that it deems to be misleading or not as interesting. Remember, YouTube's entire goal is to get you watching videos for longer, because the longer you spend on the platform, the more money you make them thanks to adverts. So it screens for misleading or unsatisfying videos by serving up videos with a higher percentage of viewership more than ones with a lower percentage of viewership. Needless to say, in 2024, basically no one is using the sub feed anymore, so video recommendations are the most important thing, meaning average watch time is also the most important thing. This algorithmic decision of meritocratic performance is actually great on paper, as it generally means that better structured videos that get to the point of their purpose quickly will outperform more waffly ones spoken by British people that go on tangents. Wait a second! But there is a little bit more to this decision. What happens when a video covers the same topic but is a different length? So let's imagine video A is a 10-minute long video that has a 50% viewer duration. Video B is a 20-minute long video and it also has a 50% viewer duration. They are both watched on average for the same amount of time, meaning logically they are both the same amount of satisfaction in the eyes of YouTube. Wrong! YouTube will massively favor video B. It's got higher watch time, baby! So that video will not only get more views, but it will also make more money for the creator. This creates a weird calculation where in some examples, longer equals better. There are some very extreme examples of terrible creators exploiting video length for profit, like for example this one here. Wait, hang on a second, that's my Victoria Free live stream. This video here is the second most viewed Victoria Free video in the entire world. There are thousands of Victoria Free videos, and yet this nearly 4-hour-long live stream VOD is the second best of them. Why is this the case? Is it because it's a well-crafted, well-edited, perfectly executed idea? No, it is a good video, but it's just statistically broken. Because it's such a long video, the average watch time is over 1 hour and a half. This means that this stream has 3 times the average watch time as the next best video has total length. That's also my video, by the way. It's handcrafted, took us a lot of time to make, and very well executed. But statistically, it's terrible. The results are that this stream outperformed massively, and thanks to my dastardly strategy, it suppressed other videos in the recommendation feed, allowing me to make over £64,000 off of a 4-hour 2-hour stream. Thanks YouTube, that was perfectly balanced. Oh wait, you're probably not used to creators talking about how much they actually make. Don't be alarmed, friends. I have to pay a lot of that revenue in tax, probably. Maybe some of it has to go to the interns to buy them food, and then the remaining 95% gets spent on my crippling addiction to Yorkshire tea. So more watch time is more good, and greater average watch time is more good. This means that the calculation to make the optimal video is rather simple. Make a video as long as possible while still keeping viewers interested. This basically means that all you need to do is craft a perfect SEO monstrosity with zoomer cuts, pan zoom, smiling celebrities, and just pander to the algorithmic equivalent of the everyman. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Dave. This is the strategy that has to be used by the people at the very top of YouTube. I can't blame them for it, because you reach a point where each ounce of personality you show, the market cap of your audience goes down by millions. Instead, you must become like white toast with butter. Plain, but very inoffensive. Perfect for when you're waking up and starting your day. So yeah, I can't exactly do that. I'm British for a start, which means that the French people probably stopped watching 5 minutes ago. On top of that, I like janky bad edits, and my sarcastic style of humor isn't exactly for everyone. If only there was an exploit that could make a longer form video retain a larger percentage of viewership and watch time. Oh dear, if only. Oh my god, is that a poorly designed feature YouTube made that nobody uses on the horizon? Yes, it is! Say hello to the YouTube Video Editing Suite. From this screen, I can make edits and alterations to an existing video on YouTube. I can trim and cut sections out of it, blur details, insert audio tracks, apply end screens, and even spam info cards to remind you to buy merch every 5 seconds. Seriously, creators who use this, please stop. What are you doing? Go and brew a cup of tea. Now, these tools are hardly used. Mostly they exist to help YouTubers cover up mistakes like speeding in a school zone whilst driving a luxury car. Or if you're really special, YouTube will even let you insert footage back into videos. But outside of a few moments when Linus Tech Tips needed to add corrections into something, it's actually hard to find much evidence of creators using this. The main thing that I think actually sees the light of day is the cut tool. This actually serves a purpose outside of fixing errors. You see, most YouTube sponsor contracts stipulate that the ad read must be on a video for 2 to 3 years. This means that 2 to 3 years after upload, some creators will actually go through their back catalog of content and cut out the sections where they tell you that Raid Shadow Legends is the greatest video game ever conceived. Yeah, right, baby, it actually sucks. Yeah, I know, I just burnt a lot of bridges there. Your game sucks, mate. I'm never taking your money. Stop emailing me. Outside of covering up the past, there is a reason why it makes algorithmic sense to remove your older sponsor reads. Most people, when presented with a read, simply press the skip button and bypass the 30 to 90 second section of that video. This means that those sections massively lower the average watch time and retention of the overall video. So by removing a section where only 10% of the audience is watching and bring it back to a 50% average retention section, then that's a net benefit on the video's performance. So logically in the long term, that's better, that's more views and more money. But all of this is curious. What if we took it even further beyond? And what if we did it backwards? Yeah, this is where I had a brilliant idea. What if we created an average video with good statistics and then cut the end off of it? Welcome to my grand plan. You're currently watching one of 2 versions of a video. One version ends sooner than the other. If you're watching this video too late, then the entire second half of this video has been cut off and you'll never actually know what it was. You'll never even be able to watch it again. And the science behind it is rather simple. I can make a video like this be watched by 2 types of viewers. One set of viewers are watching a full-length version. If the video is 20 minutes long and the average watch time is 10 minutes, that video is giving me a 50% retention. However, the second viewer, which might be you, watches the second shortened version. Let's say this video is now only 10 minutes long, but you still watch it for 50% of its length. Well, the problem is that YouTube can't delete the watch time that this video has generated, and all of the statistics just pile up onto the back end from the original version. So all of those longer views are added onto the new shorter version of the video. If half the views are on the long version and half the views are on the shorter version, we balance out at an average watch time of 7.5 minutes or 75% retention. Of course, the longer the section that we end up deleting, the better. If I add a 10-hour long Skyrim Let's Play after this and people watched it for an average of 2 hours, I could probably end up with one of the highest average retentions on a 10-minute video that the world has ever seen. And you know what? Maybe that is what I've done. But you have absolutely no way of knowing because there's a chance you're watching this video after the great cut. So there we go, job done. This video is perfect. I've just become a quadrillionaire and the largest YouTuber on the platform. unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. There are a few limitations to this strategy that might unfortunately stop us from breaking YouTube entirely, namely market cap, interaction, and engagement. The first problem is hard to fix, as there is a finite amount of people on the planet who would be happy watching a video on YouTube exploits. YouTube knows this, so recommends videos accordingly. Generally, the best videos on YouTube are ones that are relevant to broad viral demographics. This is why you see someone like the Legal Eagle cover popular events rather than obscure but interesting legal cases from Madagascar. Now, there are a few ways I can manipulate and trick YouTube to improve this video's relevancy and raise the market cap. Namely, I can have you go into the comment section and say some relevant topical things and talk about how they definitely featured in this video. Here's a list of some popular current SEO terms active right now that you can claim I have somehow satisfied your interest of. Yes, I remember talking about that. Oh, and that one. Yes. Oh, how interesting. I love insert thing here. Not only does this help with the reach of the video, but it also counts as engagement. All forms of engagement with this video and the channel will work positively to this video's success. From commenting, liking, sharing, and even voting in community posts, weird things like making clips of this video are another brilliant way of adding views. And in fact, there's a weird exploit that you can use to view bot without damaging a video's performance. Anyway, no, I'll save that for another day. It's too complicated and potentially illegal. But yes, it's entirely possible that this video right here will become my most viewed video. And of course, it's going to be a video that outside of a select few, no one will ever see it in its entirety. Of course, some people might spoil what comes after this. And so that's why I think it's important for you to comment and wildly speculate what the other half of this video actually was. I like it to be a mystery. So if you could please go into the comment section and write some absolute wild ideas about the other half of the video, then that would be great. Of course, the real ones know it's going to be the hotly anticipated Mavis Beacon teaches typing exploit video. Whoa, what a banger that's gonna be. Anyway, this is where you watching at home are going to be separated into your two groups. If you missed the original version, don't be upset. I'm a strong believer that some things shouldn't last forever, and online most content is preserved. So perhaps just this once, it's okay to create a piece of media that is finite and unique. For this project to be classed as a success, there will need to be a long-term analytical trend that shows that the average watch time had a positive impact on the impressions and reach of this video. These impacts will probably take a week or so to materialize, so check back in a few days' time and take a look at how things are shaping up. Anyway, thanks for watching, you majestic sausages. We're about to continue the video for some of you, but for others, better luck next time. You should have had notifications enabled. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the other half of the video. This is something that not everyone's going to see, and who could have guessed it? It is a British food, snacks and drinks tier list, because I know that for too long people have been wondering what my incredibly important opinions are, and today we will answer them, for this is quite possibly the most important thing you can ask a British person, and one of the most critical determining factors when it comes to knowing whether to trust a human being or to distance yourself from them. So yes, let's start with this lovely tier list. It's going to of course begin with Aero chocolate bars. Now these are quite fun. They're kind of like chocolate bars with air pockets in them, and you know what, I'm gonna say they're pretty good. They're nice, they're very tasty, but they can be a bit sickly. As far as chocolates go, it is definitely pretty good category. Then we have After Eight mints. These are basically mint chocolates. They're very strong and minty, and many people like them. However, I don't think they're that great because I don't like mint chocolate. I think that's a terrible idea. If I want mint, I'll just eat toothpaste, mate. Then we've got Heinz beans. I'm actually gonna combine Heinz beans and cheese with beans on toast in the not great category. This is probably the most controversial opinion of the night, and I'm sure many of you are currently hammering into the keyboard that I should yeet myself off of Big Ben. However, I just think beans are bad. They're just a bad vessel for food, and adding them to bread and cheese doesn't exactly improve the situation. So yeah, not great. Then we've got black pudding, otherwise known as blood pudding. It gets its name because it is basically blood mixed with herbs and barley. Definitely quite a disgusting food when you think about it. However, I think it's bloody lovely. I guess I'm just too British for some people. And yes, we in the UK never stopped quite eating like we were in the Blitz or we were role-playing feudal peasants. Then we've got Bounty chocolate bars. These are a disgrace to Britain. It's just disgusting. Just the worst chocolate bar. I hate it. Then we've got Bourbon biscuits. Oh, these are fantastic. These are bloody lovely. A chocolate biscuit with a layer of chocolate cream on the inside. Oh, dipping that into a cup of tea is a blessing. And then we've got dairy milk buttons in yogurt form. These are pretty good. I think these are all right. They're kind of tasty, but it's just very sickly. Then we've got crackers and cheese. This is a blessing to Britain. Whoever created crackers fingers and then had the idea of putting cheese on them. Phenomenal. Then we've got KP cheese balls. These are a disgrace to Britain. They're disgusting. Along with Cheez-Its. I think they're just abysmal. Cheese flavored crisps are revolting. They just kind of taste of chemicals. If I wanted to eat cheese, I'd eat cheese. I wouldn't eat synthetic cheese. I'm not an American layering plastic on top of a burger. Oh, then we've got a prime lovely little dessert cake in the top of a glacier cherry. Oh, I love these. Are good fun. They're pretty good. I know it's kind of controversial. I think in the modern day and age, people have fallen off of the love of the Bakewell, but I think they're still pretty solid. Next up, we've got Chew-Its. These are kind of like a sweet. They're pretty good. I think they're all right. Nothing sensationally great. Oh, and finally, we've got chip butty. Yes, this is good. I can let the northern fly out, mate. This is a chip butty. If you've never had chip butty, it is potato chips or the fries for the American persuaded people, usually with some kind of sauce, probably ketchup. It's laid inside of bread or cob or bap, depending on who you speak to and which part of the UK they're from. This is bloody lovely. It is absolutely bloody lovely. Oh, and then we've got Terry's Chocolate Orange. This is a blessing to Britain. A certified Christmas banger. If you are celebrating Christmas and you don't get a Terry's Chocolate Orange, something has gone wrong in your life. On the inverse of the holiday chocolate scale, we have cream eggs. I think these are not great. This is because they are rammed with fondant icing on the inside. They are sickly. Eating them makes you feel like your arteries are clogging up and you're going to drop dead of stage 75 diabetes at a moment's notice. But it's okay because Britain is saved as we have crumpets. Yeah, crumpets are great. They're pretty good. It's basically a form of bread, usually with butter, toasted. It's just really quite nice. Oh, and then we have what is probably my favorite chocolate bar of all. It's the Crunchy, ladies and gentlemen. This is a blessing to Britain. It is honeycomb or cinder toffee wrapped inside of chocolate, handed to you in a bar. It is wonderful. One of Cadbury's greatest creations, and then after the Americans bought it, it's gone downhill. I want my original Crunchy bar back, but I know it's never gonna happen, so I'll still remember you, Crunchy bar. You were amazing. Speaking of Americans ruining things, it's the Cadbury's Dairy Milk Bar, which is now in the not great category. This used to be a phenomenal piece of chocolate, and then Kraft ruined everything. I hate mega corporations. But hey, if there's one mega corporation I love, it's McVitie's, because they made the digestive biscuit, which is bloody lovely. It's a very solid biscuit, perfect for dunking in tea. Very nice. Then we have what I believe is a kebab. Kebab meat, it's alright. It's pretty neutral as far as meals go. A fantastic meal, however, is fish and chips, which is just a massive fish dipped in batter, made very crispy and served with large quantities of potato. Yes, this is genuinely one of the nicest things in the universe. I know other countries have attempted to do fish and chips, but every time I've tried them, they're just disappointing. If you want a proper fish and chips, come to the UK and give it a try. Okay, next up we've got fish fingers. These are not great. Look, if you're gonna have battered fish, have it in the form of fish and chips, not in the form of tiny string reformed fish. Oh, and then we've got Freddos. Yes, this is a bloody lovely chocolate. If you don't know, the Freddo is actually how we in the UK gauge inflation. You see, Freddos in the bygone era used to cost only half a threepence, whereas now in the modern day, Freddos can be sold on the black market for upwards of £50,000. But put simply, they're very tasty. Then we've got Fridge Raiders. These don't really feel very British. They're kind of alright. It's just breaded chicken that you eat cold. It's fine. It's a tasty snack. Fruit Winders, however, yeah, this is pretty good. This is basically pureed fruit in a winder form. I think there is an American alternative, but it's not as cool as our British alternative. So yeah, it's in the pretty good category. Oh, and then, ladies and gentlemen, oh yes, they say that the British god on the seventh day didn't rest, for he created something better. He created hobnobs. Yes, this is a blessing to Britain. For those that don't know, the hobnob is like a digestive biscuit, but made more oaty. It's got a stronger form to it, it can suck up more tea, and as a result, it is perfect in every way. This is the tea dunker's delight. I will accept no slander and besmirchment of the hobnob's name. Truly fantastic. Anyway, we can also do some quickfire ones. Hula hoops, they're pretty good. They're hoop-shaped crisps, or chips if you're foreign. They're pretty tasty. Then we've got Iron Brew. This is a blessing to Britain. This is the greatest thing to come out of Scotland ever. I used to believe that Hume was potentially the greatest Scottish export with his fantastic takes on philosophy. However, no, Iron Brew is objectively better. It tastes fantastic, and it is so good that for a while America banned it. It has no discernible taste, and if you were to describe it to someone, you wouldn't be able to. Safe to say, you need to try some Iron Brew. Okay, next up we've got Jaffa Cakes. Once again, another controversial opinion. I think they're just alright. Okay, look, if you grew up watching the Yogscast, you're probably going to be quite angry at me, but Jaffa Cakes, they're just kind of, they're fine. I'm not going to dunk it into tea. It's got terrible form for that. So for a biscuit slash cake, yeah, it's just not very good. Oh, then we've got Hartley Strawberry Jam. This is pretty good. It's a solid form of jam. Nice to put on your toast, nice to put on your crumpets, nice to put inside of your chip butties. I'm not going to judge. But for an even better formation of jam, you have Jammy Dodgers. This is a biscuit with jam on the inside, and it's bloody lovely. Oh, there's also Jelly Babies. Yes, these are very good. They're just jellied sweets, but in the shape of babies, which makes them better than Chewits, because it cures the insatiable British desire to crush children. And ever since we closed down all of the smog factories in London, this is the only way you can get that kick. Next up, we have the Kinder Surprise Egg. I don't really think this is a British snack, because it's very German, but yeah, it's alright. It's basically just a chocolate egg with a small toy inside of it. Once again, Americans banned this because they believed it was a choking hazard and would kill children. I instead believe that the Kinder Surprise Egg is Darwinism in real time. Next up, we have KP Original Salted Peanuts. These are pretty good. They're just a decent snack. Magic Stars, these are alright. My wife really likes them. I think they're just a weirdly shaped form of chocolate. And then we have Moams. Once again, I'm like 90% certain this is German, not British, but hey, they're alright as well. Now we have some controversial opinions. Marmite. I don't think this is that good. It's not great. Now, once again, my wife loves Marmite. I think it's pretty bad. A spread that actively makes you want to throw up if you put too much on a piece of toast is probably not a good spread. Eating anything that has been coated in Marmite feels like you're back in the Blitz, and I'd much rather eat 700,000 hobnobs than have to eat anything with Marmite on it. So yeah, it's in the not great tier. Next up, we have Matchmakers. These are going straight into the disgrace to Britain tier. It's just a mint form of chocolate. It sucks. Next up, we have the Tesco Meal Deal. This is going to go into the It's Alright tier. Basically, for those of you that don't know, in the UK, we can go into most major supermarkets and pick up a sandwich, a snack, and a drink, usually for a round price. Recently, I picked up a Tesco Meal Deal, which netted me 3 sandwiches, a pot of watermelon, and a large drink, all for the low cost of £4. So yeah, it's pretty good. And whilst relying on them entirely will probably lead you to an early grave, for the nation's tradespeople, the Tesco Meal Deal is a glorious invention. Okay, next up we've got Millionaire's Shortbread, which is a shortbread topped with a very thick layer of caramel and then topped off with chocolate. This is bloody lovely. It's one of the tastiest things ever created. I love it. If something will kill me, it's gonna be this, and it would be a brilliant way to go out. Okay, then we've got a selection of crisps, place them all at the same time. Mini cheddars are going in the not great category. You know my opinion on cheesy crisps. Monster Munch are going in the pretty good category. Pom Bears are going into the bloody lovely section. Skips are going into pretty good. Watsits are going into a disgrace section. And Walker's Crisps are going into the It's Alright. But finally, Space Raiders. Yes, pickled onion. Oh, this is bloody lovely. Space Raiders and Monster Munch, actually, they should be on the same tier. These are crisps that are designed to contain so much flavor and acid that your mouth will burn after eating a packet. And for that reason and masochism, they just belong in the bloody lovely tier. Okay, next up, we've got Kipling Angel Slices. These are going into the It's Alright category. Party Rings, I'm going to put in the not great category. Controversial opinion, I know, because I used to really like Party Rings, but I don't actually like them that much anymore. Penguin Biscuits are going in the Blessing to Britain category because they contain terrible jokes. And despite the fact that the biscuit isn't that great, I don't care. I love a dad joke. Percy Pigs, that's also going into the Blessings for Britain. They're fantastic. Pepperami is a reformed salty meat stick, so we're going to pop that in the Disgrace to Britain section. And I guess we can immediately cover some other snacks like the pot noodle. It's just dried noodles that you add hot water to, and it's quite possibly the backbone that keeps the entire nation's student population alive. There's also the pasta and sauce sachets that aren't that great, but are even cheaper than pot noodles, but outside of camping holidays, you wouldn't really want them. Oh, then we've got potato smileys. These are going into the pretty good category. Pizza Express Margarita Pizza, that's going into alright. It's kind of fine. Twiglets, I'm going to put in the It's Alright tier. I know I said I don't like Marmite, and Twiglets are just Marmite flavored crisps, but my wife loves them, and she would probably kick me out of the house if I didn't put them there. Okay, now we've got some legendary cakes we can cover. The Colin the Caterpillar cake is a blessing to Britain and one of the greatest cultural exports we've ever invented. Colin the Caterpillar sweets, however, from M&S are going into the not great tier. They're an okay form of sweet. Drumsticks are as well. I'm also going to put in the not great tier. This is one of the few sweets where I actually know people who have lost teeth because of them. Not because they rot the teeth, but because they're so sticky and solid, you will actually end up breaking a tooth trying to eat them. Yorkie bars are alright, it's just a solid brick of chocolate. Turkish Delight I think is a disgrace, I hate hate it. Wagon wheels as well. The combination of cream and jam is just weird. The Yo-Yo Bear fruit rollers I'm putting in the pretty good category. They're rather tasty. Drumstick squishies I'm also putting in pretty good because unlike these solid drumsticks, they won't kill you. Millions I'm going to definitely pop in the pretty good category as well. They're fantastically tasty. It's literally just condensed colored sugar. What's not to love? Weetabix. Oh, that's a bloody lovely. Who doesn't love a good Weetabix for breakfast? And we've got the flake chocolate bar. That's all right. Fruit pastels. They're not great. Twister lollies. I'm going to say pretty good. It's an ice lolly which contains a little bit of ice cream and frozen fruit flavor in a combination that's actually rather nice. Then we have, oh my, what is this? Branston small chunk pickled. Yeah, this is a disgrace to Britain. I know there are old people who love it, but it's disgusting. Same for mushy peas. Anyone who orders mushy peas is just someone who would be okay eating dog's vomit. Okay, it's disgusting. I'm just not a fan of mushy peas. And then we got Tango Orange. This can go into the it's alright category. And before we get to the most important thing on the list, I think we should deal with some of the food options. So we have pork pies. This is going into the pretty good category. I'm a big fan of pork pies, but I understand that a slab of reformed meat surrounded in pastry is kind of weird. It's a very dense form of meat as well. However, the sausage roll I think is bloody lovely because it actually minimizes the density of the pork to create an overall better balance between pastry and reformed pig. Next up, we have scones or scones if you're poor, which is usually had with cream and jam. This is going into the pretty good category. It's good for an afternoon tea, but you wouldn't exactly want it every day of the week. Then we've got Scotch egg. It is a semi-boiled egg wrapped inside of meat and then coated in bread. I'm actually going to say it's all right. I would have put it in pretty good, but I recently had some at an event and about 40 minutes later I developed a crippling migraine, so I'm going to blame that on the Scotch eggs. Okay, then we have shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is great. It's mashed potato and then some mince and a bunch of vegetables. A lovely historical dish for the UK. It's honestly a blessing to Britain. Whilst I might not have it too often now, it's a very versatile dish. It's easy to make vegetarian and vegan versions of it, and usually 9 out of 10 times it tastes fantastic. Okay, then we have a roast dinner. Yep, this is straight into the blessing to Britain category. It is a meat, potato, usually Yorkshire pudding and some vegetables. Is it the most flavorful meal on the planet? No. Is it a Michelin star meal? No. But does it warm the soul? Yes, it does. So it's a blessing to Britain. Now for the penultimate item, it's a toad in the hole, which is just the large quantities of sausage cooked in batter, and this is bloody lovely. I love it. It's basically a macro scale sausage roll. What's not to love? And finally, the greatest thing in the universe. The ascended god tier item, the one, the only, the greatest thing that has ever existed on the planet, tea. Yes! Oh, it's so good. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my very important, very critical, objectively perfect and spot-on tier list of British foods and snacks. You can fight me in the comment section, but your opinion is wrong, because I am the spiffing Brit and what I say is law. Tomorrow, bounties and cheese balls will be banned on the streets of Britain, and everyone will be drinking tea as they chow down on some hobnobs. Lovely. Right, well there we go. This has actually been the ultimate extended version of the video that basically no one else gets to see. You have seen it. Congratulations, you're very special. And who knows, maybe there was actually extra stuff after this that I cut. Maybe there was a video within a video within a video. I'm not saying whether that was the case or not. You'll just have to come up with your own theories. But this is all for you today. So thank you very much for watching. A huge thank you to, of course, liking the video, subscribing, and of course, a major shout out to the majestic sausages who are our Patreons and channel members who fund all of this nonsense on my channel. Thank you very much for your continued support. Anyway, if you're sat there wondering what video to watch next, look no further than this video on screen now. I've chosen it and it should be perfect for you. As always, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye for now.